Is it correct that in another electoral system Boris Johnson wouldn't have won? That's what I want to talk about in this video, so let's get started! Hi, I'm Mark, welcome to my channel and welcome to another After Brexit election video. If you're new to my channel, don't forget to subscribe, click the little bell and the notifications so you won't miss my future videos. As I predicted in one of my last videos, right after the election, some people who obviously voted for the losing side are complaining that this only could happen in a first-past-the-post system. But is it correct to blame it on the system? Is it correct that Boris Johnson wouldn't have won if you had another system? Months ago I made a video with the results from the last election with a purely proportional representation system you usually would not use in the UK even after some changes, because it really makes everything quite complicated. Because some of my viewers said they would be really interested, I just took the German hybrid system we use for our elections and used the results from Thursday to give you some insights there. Would Boris Johnson have won if on Thursday the German electoral system would have been in place? Just have a look, I prepared something for you, just enjoy. The German electoral system is quite a complicated system, because it is a hybrid of first-past-the-post and proportional representation. On the ballot paper you have two votes. On the left column you have your first vote. That is for the candidate in each constituency. That is for a first-past-the-post system like it is in the UK. But you also have a second vote. The second vote is for the lists of the parties in the state. That part is proportional representation. As you can see, in Germany the election is also state-based, like in the UK, because according to the population in every state there's a certain number of seats for the federal parliament. And that plays a big role in the later calculations, especially depending on how many first votes does a party have and how many second votes a party has. In the end, the countrywide vote share does count, but there are some limitations because of the two different votes, which can lean to one side if it's too many first votes or too many candidates win via first votes from one party. We do have overhang mandates. As I got, many of you expected me to say hangover mandates, but for some people they are hangover mandates, but it's overhang mandates. And what is important, we have a 5% minimum requirement in this electoral system. So a party with less than 5% countrywide won't get any seats from their party lists. If they get a direct seat via the first vote, they can keep them, but unless they get at least 3 direct seats in one state, their list or their percentage of second votes does not count. I know it sounds very complicated, and it is. There's a very special calculation system to get the number of seats in the end. That is why I try to be as close as possible on our calculation system. When I did this for the UK, I couldn't do it 100%, but because I tried to do it as close as possible, I did have to make some changes there. But first of all, let's just have a look again on the seats, how they are now in the House of Commons. That's 365 for the Conservatives, 203 for Labour, 48 for the SNP, 11 for Lib Dem, 8 for the DUP, 7 for Sinn Féin, although they won't take the seats, 4 for Plaid Cymru, 2 for the SDLP, 1 for Green and 1 for the Alliance from Northern Ireland. The Brexit Party and the UUP don't have seats, but I added them here because they're going to play a role later on. Under the columns you also can see the percentage they got countrywide in the UK that I needed for my calculations. But as you can see, the majority in the House of Commons is 326. To get close to reality with these calculations on basis on the election vote, for the calculations I had to double the size of the House of Commons. But with calculating everything in on the first votes, that's how I took the votes in the UK. And in Germany sometimes the votes on the first vote and the second vote for the parties are a bit different, but it's not that a big difference usually that it would make a big difference for the end result. And so I had to ignore it here, that there might be some slight differences. But on the basis of how the UK voted on Thursday, with a double-sized parliament, don't forget this, the majority would be 651 in this case. The seats for the different parties would be as follows on if they voted on the German hybrid system. The Conservatives would have 598 votes, Labour 443, the SNP 54, so not a very big difference there. The Lib Dems 156, they are the ones with the biggest difference in these two different electoral systems. The DUP would get 12, the Sinn Féin would get 9, Plaid Cymru 8, SDLP 5. The Greens still won. For the Greens, voting in our German system, it wouldn't have made any difference. The Alliance Party gets 6. The Brexit Party would have gotten 4 seats in our system, and the UUP, the Ulster Unionist Party, as well. In this double-sized parliament, as you can see, the Conservatives would not have a majority, even with the first votes they got, they are counted in. Labour, the SNP and the Lib Dems together would have a very small majority of 4 on this electoral system, but they still would have to form a coalition or something and get of the same opinion. To make it easier for you to compare, just for fun, this is not very accurate then to just cut everything in half and so on. I downsized the whole thing once more so you can better compare it to the numbers you know. So in that case, the Conservatives would have 299 seats. That is still quite a way to go to the majority of 326. Labour would have 221. The SNP would just have 27. The Lib Dems 78. The DUP 6. Sinn Féin 4. Plaid Cymru 4. The SDLP 3. The Greens still there 1. The Alliance 3. The Brexit Party 2, and the Ulster Unionist Party 2. So that's a picture that's probably more familiar for you. That would probably be if the UK would have voted on a similar hybrid system that we use in Germany. So you can see it does make a difference what kind of electoral system you have. But this shows one thing very clearly, because there are always the discussions between these electoral systems. And even in Germany, we have these discussions over and over again. On the one hand, the people say proportional representation or even a hybrid system are more democratic. Many even say our hybrid system is not very democratic because we partly have first past the post in there, and they are complaining about this, and even our constitutional courts made adjustments to the system. That's why we have these overhang mandates and equalizing mandates for these overhang mandates and so on. That got it more complicated because they also said first past the post is not very democratic. But on the other hand, the picture you see right now is what we usually have in Germany. Nobody has a majority. The last time we had an absolute majority for one party in Germany is a long time ago, and it doesn't look like Angela Merkel in her second election was quite close to get there again. But this is a very rare thing in Germany because of the electoral system. And so we are used to have coalitions all the time. And there you are with the advantage of the first past the post system. It is possible, and more often possible, that someone gets a majority, like it happened on Thursday. The Conservatives have a majority. That, whatever you think about the Conservatives and whatever you think about Boris Johnson, that does bring stability into politics if someone has a majority. And there are not always discussions about compromises and stuff like that. Of course, and there we are at the personal point of view thing again, I agree that it is not very democratic because if you have a look there, 43.6% and far over 50% in the seats, that's, from my point of view, not the most democratic system you can have. But it does have its advantages, as I said. But I hope that got you some insight. Some of my viewers told me that they would like to see this, so I did it. It took me quite some time because of the complicated German system, and it took me a lot of calculations here. And I think it got close. If some specialist professors from Germany probably say, oh no, there you're wrong. But the direction is correct, I'm quite sure. I hope you got some new insights there, especially into our electoral system, which is really complicated. So I hope I didn't confuse you too much yet. I left out quite a lot in the explanations because it's really confusing, really complicated. And I hope I broke it down as easy as I could. If you liked it, I don't mind if you like or share my videos. Maybe family and friends are interested how it would have been with the German electoral system or how the German system is at all. For now, have a nice day. See you soon. Thank you for watching and bye bye.